In 1930, the Kiwanis Club of Regina decided that they wanted to undertake a major project which would be a help to underprivileged boys. And so they bought a piece of property in Glen Harbour, which is on the north shore of Long Lake, and built 6 log cabins and a lodge for this camp. It took quite a bit to get those logs into the area, so it was a challenging project. I believe it took a couple of years. The logs, I believe, were donated by SAS Power, and they had to float them down the Long Lake to get them to the site. Following that, every year the club would approach the Regina Welfare Bureau, and between the two of them they would gather up names to take these children out to the boys out to the camp. This continued for about 20 years. In about 1950, the Kiwanis Club changed the role of the camp, and for a while the YMCA used the camp, then the Boy Scouts used the camp. In about 1964, the camp was being used by the Girl Guides, and continued to when we closed down the camp. The Girl Guides were an excellent partner for the camp. They would assist us on selling daffodils, and we would provide all the maintenance for the camp. So we had a perfect program for that. If they each had 2 weeks, I think, we could handle about 30 or 40 kids at a time. And so, if you take the summer long there, we could probably help out, 100, 150 to 200. When the Girl Guides was having it, they started in July, early July, late June, after school started, and went right straight through August to September. It was an enjoyable camp. Kiwanians spent many hours out there fixing things up, staining all the log cabins, and trying to make it a very safe spot for the girls. I think they would have had some professional help to help them out. And it would be all donated help. We had a lot of members who were contractors and this sort of thing, and so I'm sure we had a lot of help from these different organizations. It was usually a bee of some sort, and we would go out, and one time we had to re-stain all the buildings. So that was a 2 or 3 day project that we would do off and on to get these things back. We would have to, of course, in the spring we'd have to open it up, and in the evening close it down. We had a water pump there that we had to make sure was safe for the children, and of course we would cut grass. We did other projects. We got donations of benches from the city, and so we installed those benches one year, and we also had to keep the trail down there so cars could get down there without getting their cars scratched. So we had to trim trees on a number of occasions to make sure that everything was okay there. One thing I should mention is that during the camp, years of camp there, we built a new lodge for them with an up-to-date kitchen and a bigger space for eating and crafts. When one of the cabins we deemed it unsuitable, we built another cabin for them. And so this continued on till late 2010, I believe it was the date. It might have been a little bit earlier than that, but we decided at that time, with the loss of our maintenance custodian there, that we just couldn't handle the maintenance any longer, and so we sold the camp to a private person who is now still using the camp as a camp for group gatherings and reunions and this sort of thing. The other thing I should just mention is that we still are sort of in the camping business. We are helping the North Central Family Center to provide a camping program for children that they are serving in that area. Well, what has been told to me and relayed back to me is that the girls don't forget about it. They spent a number of years out there, and they've always remembered about the camp and how nice it was out there and what much fun they had there. So I think you know, it was really something that was well worth to do and to experience. Well, the motivation was to help out underprivileged boys in the city. That was the main idea of the whole camp. There was nobody else that could do anything at that time in the 1930s. There was nobody, no provincial help, or you know, so really it was something that the Kiwanis Club thought was needed, that we should help out these children, and so they undertook the project for that reason. And of course it's expanded into a lot of other things throughout the years. It was a very lovely setting, and I enjoyed being there every time we went out.
Life is bigger than just one, but one can make a difference.